Hey, hey, y'all. Melissa Windell here with Joshua Johnson. So excited as our featured healer of the week, the month here. Joshua Johnson is with Joshua Tree Theta Healing.
That's right.
And I met Joshua like what, a month ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like we just like hit it off. Like
We had a blast.
Yeah.
We had such a good time.
Yeah.
We were having a lot of fun, kind of more than the rest of the people around us.
Yeah. I don't think that we could stop laughing the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were like two healers next to each other at an event, and like it was.
We had a blast.
It was so great.
So fun.
Yeah.
It was the Day of Healing event, which is also coming up again May 18th and 19th.
Yes, which I'm so excited about, and you'll be hearing more about that here with our next featured healer, because I'm doing it with Kale.
Awesome.
Yes, we'll be talking even more about that. But that's where we met, was at Healing Days.
Yep.
And then we'll be talking more about that next time, and it was just so much fun.
We had a blast.
Yeah.
Everybody was super on the level. Really stoked to be there. All the people that participated, I saw 7 people, and they were all awesome.
Yeah.
They were so fun. They were great.
Yeah, it was great. We saw some of the same people, so that was really fun too, because we could work with each other, and I would be like, okay, when you go see Josh, work on this.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Yeah, vice versa. And we just liked each other so much that this is who I get to be sharing office space with. I'm geeking out.
It's going to be so fun.
Growing up into Denver, the big city. So funny, I was like trying to pull in right now, and I was like, okay, girl in a big truck in a tight city, like I did not think the big truck through.
That's Colorado.
For Denver living. So I'm so excited. So Joshua's office here, since I'm moving into this office starting every Thursday, beginning April, is off of 6th and Washington.
That's right.
And we're like close to Capitol Hill.
We are in Capitol Hill.
I'm learning things.
616 Washington.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really great. It's by Pablo's Coffee Shop, which apparently is really delicious.
It's really good. And the food around here is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't wait to give me some tacos.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yes. So let's talk about you, Joshua.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm happy to be here. This is exciting.
Yeah. So tell me, what exactly is Theta Healing?
So Theta Healing is a technique where we investigate the root or things that are in place that are co-creating any type of suffering. So whether that's a subconscious belief that's problematic, a trauma that's left in place and unchecked, general pain, miseducation that just needs a tweak, perspective shifts, whatever that is, whatever we find, we identify that through muscle testing, and then through a line of questioning, we shift and change all that. Then once that shift happens, the energy floods in and it creates the changes, whatever we're looking for.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
So, so you would kind of do that by asking questions or doing like some talk therapy with.
It feels a lot like talk therapy, and then with that energetic reprogramming component at the right times. So I really feel like an investigator. I am intensely curious about what's happening. And I've got 1,000,005 questions of figuring out what is in place. So it really is an investigation. I have to really find those points of, let's just say, of trauma that are in place. And sometimes I need to go through the back door of things, because if we take it head on, sometimes the subconscious blocks us, or, quite often, sometimes it's conditioning. We're conditioned to answer questions the same way all the time, and sometimes that becomes a blockage for us just right there in the moment. So I focus on what is that, and I've got to get to know many, many facets of the situation, the person, the circumstances, the past, the present, the future. So there's a lot of information to glean before we just start making changes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's like we use a lot in the psychic world. It's like peeling the onion.
Yeah.
It's like you're always like taking off the next layer and the next layer. And I feel like this might be in alignment with what you do, but to me, it's like, I feel like you're taking off those layers so the person can get more in connection with their like authentic self and who they actually want to be running on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a question of authenticity. You know, the majority of people, well, that might be an overstatement. Quite often people are feeling like they're not living authentically. The way that plays out in my job is that's the byproduct of the healing. So if I keep in what I do, I don't look for where you're being inauthentic. Inauthenticity, peace, happiness, positive perspective, release, freedom, letting go, those are all a byproduct of releasing and removing and changing what components are in place that are creating the suffering. Does that make sense? That's the approach that I take.
Which then opens up that gateway for people to become more authentic and to become more true to who their heart and their soul really wants to be.
Totally.
Great. And then do you see great results with that?
Yeah, immediately. That's kind of the problem.
Okay, wait, why is it a problem?
Truthfully, it's a shit business model. But you know, that I'd much prefer to work that way. I want to get in, create as much change as possible, expansively, as swiftly as possible, give you any tools or strategies or tactics that will help you along the way, and then get out so you can go live your life. That's my goal. That's my focus. And in so doing, usually we get pretty deep, pretty fast, and make a fair amount of change pretty swiftly.
That's powerful.
Yeah, so no, there are great results. We've experienced everything from removal of depression, reversing Addison's disease.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we've gotten the test back on cancer was healed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so
that's incredible.
Yeah, totally. Outside of, and that includes, you know, getting free of narcissistic relationships, reversing and changing those life purpose elements where you hate your job, whatever, you know, you don't like your relationship or whatever that might be. Though those changes are also a byproduct of releasing the suffering components. So yeah, we get some pretty awesome and profound changes through this work. It just depends upon what your intentions are, what your goals are, and you might not know. Sometimes that's it. You don't know why you're suffering. You actually don't know where this needs to go. And so sometimes we need to start there as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What got you into this work?
Serendipity.
So, wow, let's hear about it.
I used to be a Hollywood talent agent, and that went yeah. Totally.
Really?
I totally did.
Hollywood talent agent.
I know, it was very glitzy, very glamorous, very fun.
Which is probably where you get to set your fab outfits, which you can't see, but you should scoot over so you can. I mean,
here's my pocket square that fell down a little bit. Yeah,
and then because I love accessories, he's also, you gotta look at that. I mean, that's really good too. Yeah.
I don't know, it's fun.
It is so fun.
I love I run a men's go group called Denver Dudes. Always dude-centric, never chauvinistic. It's about exploring the finer things in life that are fulfilling for men, and a lot of that is style and fashion. One of my favorite quotes about style is a way you express yourself without saying a word.
Ooh.
So that's
true that.
why I like doing this.
Yeah.
So that went Hollywood
Why?
went pear-shaped in the fall of 2007, and I moved back to Colorado. I'm from Breckenridge. I moved back to Colorado in 2008. And in figuring out what I wanted to let go of Hollywood and keep with me, I started realizing that I think I wanted to get into psychology, some of that. So I was going to go to Naropa in Boulder. And I think I was looking at 3 or 4 year program. I can't remember what it was. And all the loans that go with it, et cetera, et cetera. And just in an effort to get out of my own head, I started working with some hip and cool ladies up in my hometown that were healers, massage therapists, physical therapists, craniosacral, et cetera, et cetera. And they said, just work our front desk if you want.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And, but we're learning a new technique called Theta Healing, and we think you'd enjoy it. So we started a little study group every Friday morning. And then I read the books, and I remember thinking, this is talking mad trash. I mean, this is talking some mad trash. But if this is possible, this is the answer. This is really, really cool, and this is kind of everything I want. So you go get the certification. I threw up my shingle in the fall of 2009. Serendipity stepped in again. And it was a former actress of client of mine that just reached out very strangely. She was dealing with breast cancer. The
Oh.
tumor was so bad it protruded out of her breast and it looked like a third breast, she said. So we had a great phone session. She had a great shift, nice healing. She texted me the next day and it reduced by 20%.
Oh my gosh.
Freaking wild. I know.
Are
It's
you
wild.
kidding me?
No, it's insane.
Wow.
The human
And
spirit, the human mind, the human body, the human heart is freaking phenomenal, man. So
that's incredible.
So then I thought, yeah, okay, let's do that. And it continued up in the mountains for about 2.5 years, experiencing a lot of really good healings. And then I just wanted more for my life. And 6 years ago, I moved on down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wait, so you did all that over the phone? You had
Yeah.
results like that over the phone. That's
Ultimately what you're doing is you're unlocking things in people, and the energy component, you're not getting any of my energy in the healing. So we don't need to be together.
Right.
You don't want my energy in healing. You don't want any of my crap. You don't want my perspectives. You don't want my beliefs. You don't want that. You want it very pure energy from, if it's important to you, a spiritual component, a spiritual source. If not, it's just the energy of change, the energy in your body, the energy in your heart, your mind, whatever that is. So I don't need to be in the same room with you. We can unlock all of that and make the shifts anywhere. I've got a client in Japan. I've got a client in Hawaii, and everywhere in between. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I know. I do that too. I do over the phone.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are like, well, I want to be with you in person. I'm like, well, that's great.
So do I. Like, make no mistake. I prefer it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But let's be effective when we can, as much as we can, wherever we can.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Agreed.
But you've never found any blockages in doing things over the phone?
No.
You've never found it any more difficult, have you?
No. I've seen equally as amazing results over the phone as I do in person.
Yeah. And it's weird because when you first start this, you think, I don't know. We need to be in person. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it helps because we focus. I don't know.
Well, and you get more of the like, you get to hug each other and you get to look
I know,
each
that's
other in
nice.
the eyes,
Yeah, that's
and you
right.
get to say hi. So
That's right.
that part is always a treat.
That's right.
Okay, so then you moved down here 6 years ago in Denver. Now you're just rocking it in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
That's right.
And then where do you see yourself going in the next 5-10 years with this?
I want more of this, honestly. I want a pretty packed schedule because I like to work. I feel better when I work. And then honestly, I want to do healing cruises where we take very terminally ill people and go off and sail with them and their families and get them out of whatever, have a team of physicians, nurses, medical, this and that, and heal the heck out of them, get them in the water, swimming with dolphins, things like that, and then help them set them up with the infrastructure and the strategies and the tactics they need for when they return. Because I think that seems to be a healing component that inevitably we run into. How do we, when we're dealing with disease, it's designed to revolutionize our lives. So how do we, the disease changes pretty fast, but the culture of our lives then becomes the formidable component that keeps recreating the situations. So I'm trying to figure out a way to address that in a very fun way. Does that make sense?
And yeah, I really liked your verbiage on that. And just thinking about it, it's like so if you're terminally ill and you go on this cruise, a few things are happening. One, you're opening and expanding your vision to different experiences, which gets you out of your normal day-to-day thing, and gets you out of the rut that probably got you there in the first place.
It is a rut, and it's tough, yeah.
And then you get to be in the healing waters, and dolphins are actually said to have a rainbow light in them, which is like the same UVs as the sun, which the sun is very healing to all of our organs. And so being around, and dolphins hold that same UV, and so they're very healing in that aspect.
Love it.
So that's incredible.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. If I ever, hopefully I never get terminally ill, but if I do,
Don't go sailing anyway. Yeah. Let's not get sick in order to go sail.
Totally. Let's just go sailing anyways. So that's incredible. Okay, then how would we find you?
JoshuaTreeThetaHealing.com is the best way. A lot of blogs on there, supportive elements. You can book sessions that way. You can get in touch with me. Otherwise, thetahealer@me.com is another great way. And reach out. Even if people just have questions, like I don't understand, whatever it is you're questioning, let me give you the time. Let's talk. Yeah.
And so one question I kind of have, so when you're doing the theta healing and you're doing the muscle testing, and then it's after you're doing the muscle testing, are you doing like is there like a prayer that you're doing? How does that work?
Yeah, in our technique we call it a command. Okay.
Oh,
So what we're doing is it's kind of a 3 elements to a full prayer, if that's the word you want to use. So first we started with a meditative component, getting you into the theta brainwave. It happens real fast. All right. You're not in a trance, but we do trigger that theta brainwave, that focused, relaxed energy where everything starts to synergize, sync up, heal. Then what happens is we go into a command, which means we are commanding energy, we're commanding this to change, we're commanding a new definition, discernment, perspective, and understanding of love, or being pain-free, or whatever that might be. And then the third part, which is really important, is the witnessing. So as a practitioner, through my senses, I'm witnessing what's changing. And in the session, you'll know if something has changed or not. Because if I don't witness a change, the change hasn't occurred. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Goes back to the an experiment by a physicist named John Wheeler. And if something isn't witnessed, there is no change. So we use a lot of that in it. So it's a 3-part prayer, if that's your word, with 3 components: the meditation, the command, and then the witnessing.
Wow.
And as a result of that, we can reverse some stuff, create new stuff, get rid of stuff. A lot of getting rid of stuff, which is pretty cool.
And from experience, because we did a trade, so we could experience each other's gifts in the world. And I have to admit, after our trade, my life just started bing, 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 bing. I was like,
it's kind of wild.
That's exactly what I needed. Thank you so much.
You know, it's wild. I'm looking for those keystones that just need to be popped out for everything to start to sing. It's fun, right?
Oh, it's so fun.
Yes, yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Vice versa, me too.
That's great.
Oh, well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Joshua,
Thank
for
you.
being
This
with
was fun.
me today. Yes, and again, if you need to find Joshua Johnson, he's at Joshua Tree. Okay, so
JoshuaTreeThetaHealing.com.
Joshua Tree. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of a tongue twister when I'm like thinking too much. Joshua
Well,
Tree.
it's 4 words together that you wouldn't think go together.
But then,
or 3 words.
But I feel like Joshua Tree goes together because it's a tree and it feels really good.
And I'm tall like a tree.
And you are very tall like a tree. Yeah. And then the theta healing. Yeah.
That's me.
It's really good. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for jumping in today. And
Thank you.
With me.
This is
and
fun.
we will talk to you all again soon. Bye.